In this video, I'm going to show you the basics of creating projects, classes, as well as packages in NetBeans. So NetBeans, this is the IDE that we are going to use to create our Java projects or to program in Java. So there are two possible ways, probably not just two, but these are the two that I'm going to talk about. If you want to create a new project, you can click on this icon, or you can go to File. You can go to File and then New Project. All right. So I'm just going to click on this icon for New Project, and then you want a Java project, Java application. All right. So go Next, and then from there we give our project a name. So I'm going to give this project, right? What happens is whenever you create anything in NetBeans, it will have a default name. The default name will give you guidelines as to how you should name that thing. This is a project, and you see that this is Java application. J is uppercase and application is uppercase because we have two words that are combined. So each word, the first letter of each word will be in uppercase. So here, this is Java application. So I'm going to name mine Java demo. Okay. Then I'll tick this one, use dedicated folder for storing libraries, but I will untick this one. If this was ticked like this, then you untick it so that it becomes unticked, and then you go finish. So this is going to create a project. This project will have the name Java demo. Then once it's created, it should appear here. So we now have it here. If we expand here, you see that there are two folders, source packages and libraries. We are not going to do anything to the libraries folder for now until we get to some more advanced topics, or probably when we get to the JDBC. So if you expand this one, you'll see that this is a default package that we have, and this is for source packages. Source as in from the word source, from the phrase or the term source code. So this is where we write our code. However, before we write anything, you are not supposed to create any code inside the default package. So you are not expected to come here and then create a class. You are supposed to, the first thing that you need to do is to create a package. So I'm going to create a package by going to source packages, then I right click on source packages, then I go to new, and then when I get to package, I left click. So that's a package. And again here, because this is a package, you can see the naming convention. Everything is written in lowercase, even though we have two words. This is a new package, but everything is written in lowercase. So I'm going to call this one, let me say maybe week one. Okay, week one. That's going to be the name of my package, and then I click on okay there. So now the package has been created. All right. Now the code that I'm going to create is going to be inside this package. By the way, you can create as many packages as you want. I can come here and create another package. So I simply right click there, then go to Java package, and maybe I can call it week 2. Okay. So you can create many packages. You can also create another package, a package inside another package. So if I want to create another package inside week 1, I just go to week 1 package, right click, and then Java package. But that's not what we want to do for now. So I'm just going to use week 1, the week 1 package. Maybe let me delete week 2. So I'm going to just delete week 2. So that I mean with week 1. All right. Now this is what you need to do. I expect you to just create one project for the whole of this semester, for the classes that we'll be doing, for the exercises or activities that we'll be doing in class. I just expect you to create one project. You can name it after your name or your student ID. And then each week you created a package, say week 1, week 2, week 3, etc. You create a package, and then you write the code that we are going to have in that week inside that package. All right. So I'm going to right click on this Java on this week 1, and then I go to Java class. Here I just want to create a Java class. So this is a Java class, and let me call this class person. All right. So I created the class person like this. Then it's going to create that class. It's generating the code. The code has been generated. So there are some comments. These comments are for documentation, like these comments, they're for documentation, but we don't care about these comments. Now, this is the general structure of a Java class or Java source code. The Java class, we have a package statement. So this is a package statement which shows in which package is this source file. Then this package statement is a must. We can also have some optional statements below the package statement. And then here we need to have either a class or interface. This is mandatory. And then inside the class or interface, we can have optional class members. By optional, I mean we may have them or not have them. Import statements, we may have them or not have them. But the package statement is a must. A class or an interface is also a must, or it's mandatory. So I'm going to remove these ones. Now, having done this, we can write our code. In Java, you cannot write any Java code here. You cannot write any Java code outside of a class. So you cannot come here, for instance, and try to declare a variable here and say maybe int a, like this one. This doesn't work. Though in C++, you would do something like this and then call this one a global variable. This does not work in Java. All code has to be written inside the class or inside the interface. So we come here. I want to create some variables. So let me say string name, string name. Then I initialize the name. Then let me also say maybe int age. Now, outside of classes, I mean, these ones, the ones that I've created here, these are called instance variables. They're instance variables. Any variable that is not marked as static is called an instance variable. Now, I can also have instance methods. I can also have methods. I can have instance or static methods. All right. So here I can have instance or static variables as well. So here let me just say instance methods. So I want to create a method here which will simply display these two things, name and age. So here the method, let me mark it as public void display. It's void because it doesn't return anything, and then it's a public method. Now here I'm going to display, so I'll say system.out.println. Then let me just say name. So this is going to display the name which is stored here. And then let me do the same and display age. So I'll come here and display age like this. All right. So now I have created instance variables as well as an instance method. Now this method, this class does not have a main method, so it cannot be executed. This class cannot be executed because it doesn't have a main method. Now, before I forget, let me also tell you that you cannot write a statement like this one to display something. Like you cannot take this statement and write it anywhere else, like say here inside the class, but outside of a method, we cannot do it. So outside of methods, inside the class, we can create variables. But when it comes to code that does something, it has to be written inside a method. So let me remove this one. Okay. Now, having created this class, the next thing that I want to do is to create another class, which is called the main class. A main class will have the main method. So I'll create another class, which is the main class. I'm going to give it the name driver, and then I'll create an object of this class in that class and invoke the method display so that it displays name and age. So I'll come to my package week 1, then new, and then I go to, this is now a Java main class. So if I choose Java main class, it will have the main method in there by default. So I'm going to call this one driver, and then right here is our main class. If you look at this one, you can see that the icons are different. The main class has this part for the icon, and this one doesn't have. Okay. So I'm just going to minimize these ones. Well, I can leave them as they are, but I would have minimized so that you could see easily. But anyway, all right. So there we are. In this class, I just want to create an object of the class person. So to create a statement that creates an object of person is written as new person like this. Right. If I type new person like this creates an object of person. But now look at the message that is being displayed there. It says new instance ignored. Why it is saying that new instance is ignored is because this object that I've created, or this new instance that I've created, is not being referenced using some other variable. So let me create a variable to reference to this one. So I can come here and write person, say person P. So here I've created a variable P of type person. I can now come here and set a value to P like this. Okay. Now these two statements can be combined. We can declare and initialize a variable at the same time. So we can just do this. So here I've created a variable, created an object, and used this variable to refer to this object. Now, having created this object, I can now go on and invoke the method display. I can now go on and invoke the method display like this. Now, this is the file that has our main class. So I can now right click here to choose run file. And we just wait a bit until our project. Now it runs and it displays the name as well as the age. So basically, that's how you create classes and methods. Now, there is a rule that you need to know here. On any source file, a source file which has the .java extension, any source file, a public class on any source file must have the same name as the file name. So our file is driver, and this class is public, and it has the name driver. If I come here and type, say, driver1, this will give an error. It's because this is a public class, and yet the name is not the same as the file name. So if I come here, click here, it will tell me that rename file to driver1, so that we resolve that one. So a public class on a file must always have the same name as the file name. You can have as many classes as you want on a file, but only one class can be public. Like in this case, this class is starting from here and it's ending here. I can come here and create another class. Maybe I can write class student. This does not give an error because student is not public, so it doesn't matter whether this name is the same as that one. But if I come here and type public, it's going to give an error because it says class student is public, should be declared in a file named student.java. So you can only have one public class on a file, and that public class must have the same name as the file name. So basically, that's how you create classes in Java. Now, these are called instance variables, the ones that we have here. They are called instance variables. You can also create what are known as static variables or class variables. For instance, let's say for a person, we can say, okay, the person has, let me say, static of eyes, for number of eyes. And I can even initialize this one to 2. Now, because this is a static variable, if I come here and type this one, say num of i's. This, okay. This is a static variable. It can be displayed here because we are still within the same class. However, if I want to access this one directly, from another class, let me show you what happens with static variables. Or maybe let me just create a static method and have a method public static void show. So this one I just wanted to show i's, like this one. Okay. This is a static method. It's only going to show num of i's. So when I just want you to take note of the difference in terms of how we call these two methods, this one and this one. When I come here, if I say p dot show like this, right, in as much as this statement is not giving us errors, but it's giving us a warning to say that we are accessing a static method. The reason why it's showing us that warning is because a static method is a class method. We don't need an object to access it. So in fact, if you want to access show, which is a static method, we just write the name of the class. The name of the class is person. So you type person.show and that warning disappears. So if I run this one, it's going to show us the name, the age, and then the number of i's. Now, again, another rule. If I come here, you see this is a static method, and we can access a static variable directly from a static method. However, we cannot access static, instance variables from a static method. Like here, I cannot come here and type name. The reason is this is a static method, and name is a non-static variable. So if you want to access name from here, we need to create an object of this one. So let me write something like a new person dot name like this one. Because I have created an object of person, now I can directly access, I can now access name. So you cannot access an instance method, an instance variable from a static method without creating an object of that variable. By the way, what I have done here, I could have started by creating a variable first. Like I could have done this. Come here, type person, maybe PE, then do this. Now when I come here, I'll type PE.name. So this is the variable which is storing our object right now. So basically, that's how you create it, how you create classes. That's how you create methods inside classes, as well as how we invoke those methods, how we create new objects. We create an object by using the keyword new, and then we write the name of the class and then put the braces there. So here, person with braces, this is called a constructor, as we shall see later. So I think for this one, that is that. Let's meet in the next video.